Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews as I pull them out of the box. As you can see, this particular shelf that's backing me here, well, we're making progress. We're getting there. We really are, although I have to say something happened that is so freaking maddening, and you'll sympathize. So I'm going through the box, and I find a pile of Shostakovich, including Siddi's amazing, really first-rate set of Shostakovich string quartets with the Pacifica Quartet in 4 volumes. I only see 3. Where's the 4th? It wasn't in the box. What did they do with it? What could anyone have done with it? I have no freaking clue. So what do? For now, I'm holding these 3 out in the forlorn hope that the 4th will show up and I can at least keep these together, even if everything else is getting shoved in at random. I mean, because then if I got to find the last one, it's like ridiculous. It makes me crazy. Every obsessive, compulsive bone in my body is just quivering with rage and suppressed anxiety. It's not suppressed. It's actually out there. So what am I supposed to do? I have no idea. I'm letting them sit here for now, and we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, let's see what we have here that we pulled out at random. I've got some piles of things here. Well, here's a wonderful disc. Oh, this is just beautiful. This is Yvonne Moravec playing Chopin and Debussy. I mean, he was one of the great pianists of the 20th century with an exquisite tone, absolutely beautiful. And here we have the Debussy Images, books 1 and 2, one prelude, footsteps in the snow. Oh, it's so beautiful. Des pas sur la neige. Ooh. It even sounds lovely. And the Estampe, yes, the one with pagodas and soirées dans grenade and gardens in the rain. Speaking of which, it's going to be having a garden in the rain right here very shortly. Then we've got some Chopin, a bunch of mazurkas, a bunch of waltzes, and some really fabulous polonaises. And this is on Vox. Moravec had no loyalty to any label. I mean, it wasn't that he didn't have loyalty. He actually had nothing but loyalty. One of his loyalties was to Vox. He would work with whoever worked with him. And he was so particular about what he wanted that not everybody wanted to work with him. So there you go. It's an amazing little 2-disc cheapy set of some of the greatest piano playing you will ever hear in your life. Especially the Debussy stuff is just unbelievably, exquisitely gorgeous. So that goes there. Next, oh, wow. Look at this. Gloriana! Britten's biggest failure. I mean, it was his biggest failure popularly. I mean, not that I don't know how much of anything he did was popular, but Peter Grimes maybe. But what I mean was the thing was the opera was a big not success because it was written for the coronation of Queen Elizabeth, one of those big stuffy occasions, and he wrote what's basically a tragic opera. I think it's a magnificent work. I think it's fabulous, and it had to wait until now to get a recording. I mean, Argo finally did a complete recording. The dance things and the pageant tournament music thing. He made a suite out of it, which is lovely. But this is just marvelous. And the fascinating thing about it is that the conductor is Charles Mackerras, with Josephine Barstow as Queen Elizabeth, and Philip Langridge and Della Jones and Jonathan Summers and Yvonne Kenny and Alan Opie and Richard Van Allen and Bryn Tarfel and Willard White and John Shirley Quirk, who is still alive, and John Mark Ainsley. Wow, what a cast. I mean, it's stunning. Of course, it's out of print. Probably. The irony is that Mackerras is the conductor. He was such a good sport about that. Mackerras was ostracized by the Benjamin Britten Mafia and his crew. Why? Because he made an offhand humorous comment about Benjamin Britten and his little boy friends. Not that he was doing anything nasty with them. He wasn't. Britten was a prude. Britten would not touch anything, essentially. But the fact of the matter is that, the heat just kicked on. Okay, sorry, folks, if you hear a little buzzing and whirring in the background. Anyway, the bottom line is that is that for that reason, Mackerras really couldn't do anything with Britten and Peers, which was terrible because he was such a fabulous conductor and enormously sympathetic, and he would never, ever hurt anyone's feelings intentionally. He joked around, you know? But Britten had no sense of humor. Zero, zippo when it came to that stuff. And so, I mean, this is very well documented, by the way. His relationships with people were rather cold. And except for Peter Peers, of course, you know. And so anyway, this is just a little bit of shop talk. This is a fantastic recording. It was on Argo, now it's Decca. And if you can find it and you're collecting your Britten operas, go for it. It's just marvelous. And then we have, let's see, what's this? Oh, one of my favorite records of all time, which I've talked about separately. Leo Brouwer. This is this incredible... Leo Brouwer is just the greatest composer for guitar that ever lived. He's a Cuban composer. He's marvelous, just marvelous. We have his guitar concerto number 5. Why doesn't somebody do a box of Leo Brouwer guitar concertos? Wouldn't that be fun? The Helsinki, because it was written for these people, for let's see, who's this? Timo Korhonen, with the Tampere Philharmonic Orchestra under Tuomas Ollila. Yeah! You get the guitar concerto number 5. Then you have his version of the Albani's Iberia suite, 3 movements. Evocación, El Puerto, and El Albatin, yes, whatever. And then we have, the best, the Lennon-McCartney From Yesterday to Penny Lane, 7 Beatles tunes, arranged for guitar and strings. Oh my goodness, this is such a wonderful, wonderful little work. You got She's Leaving Home, A Ticket to Ride, Here, There, and Everywhere, Yesterday, Got to Get You Into My Life, Eleanor Rigby, and Penny Lane. Just thinking about them means I'm going to probably get a copyright violation for doing this video. But wow, what a great disc. It's on Ondine. It's like also, I don't think in print anymore. It should never be out of print. Come on, Rayo, come on, reissue it. Let's make sure it's available forever. It's fantastic. So there you go, my friends. 3 amazing random pulls from these boxes of stuff. I mean, this looks nice, I know. This is one little shelf. You know, these are by the way, just in case you didn't know, these are all double shelves, which is really a good way to do this. So I can actually put an amazing number of CDs in each of these. And I've got 4 of these big shelf things. And then, of course, I've got, you know, for box sets and racks, and I have other shelves of different sizes in different rooms. And I'm going to be doing this for a very, 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 very long time. But I have figured it out. I actually wrote about this. I think what the way to do it, I think, is to put everything in shelves and then gradually alphabetize each shelf. And then when I really feel like it, it's actually rather simple to take all the little alphabets and turn them into one big alphabet, because you can do things in chunks by letter and just sort of, you know, I'll figure it out. I really will. That, I think, is going to work. That's my theory, at least now. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.